And good evening. Thank you for choosing Graphs TV and the Sicko Show. I'm your host, the Matty Man. We're about a minute early tonight. Tonight is going to be our last watch along stream for WWE for the foreseeable future, minus the premium live events. So we are here, we are live. Let's see what's going on here because the stream just goofed up on me again. You know, it's like, is what it is. So let's see what we got here. There I am. All right, there's that one. All righty. I see everything's locked in here. And we're just waiting on WWE to kick on in here. You know how that goes. It's 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and just get locked in for the night. And we're going to call it a night after this one. Anybody else doing any kind of reviews or anything like that, we'll be hanging out with you just a little bit later. So there we are. Let's see what we got here. I do see that the Triple H splash is popping loose here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, good. Let's get rid of that. Let's just clear that one out. So there's absolutely zero accidents whatsoever. Let's go ahead and just drop these things out here. We are live for New Year's Evil. All right. Let's see what we got. Still got nobody, but we've got a stream going. And we've got Julia making her way. Of course, we got the usual montage of performers making their way to the studio right now. And believe it or not, it actually got warm, so we can come out of this thing here right away as well. Okay. We are kicking it live. What an evening. What an evening. There we go. Put that over there, and we're ready. We are kicking it live. Waiting on everybody to make it. And here comes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in whatever that is right there. It looks like a Ford, could be a Dodge. Who knows? And whoops. Well, they went away too. Wow. I have no earthly idea what's going on right now here. All right, we are live in the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, California. And there we go. See here. One more thing, and then we should be good to go. All right. Corey Graves live on NXT tonight. They are pulling out all the stops for some reason. There we go. Bam. Boy, his voice went up like 9 octaves when he said our first up. Bee! All right, so let's see what we're getting here now. It started right now, actually, Alex. Why can't I see you as a viewer? Goodness gracious alive. My viewer numbers are goofy. That's all right. It's going to happen. We don't mind. Yulia, wow, they're starting off with the women's NXT title right away? Yeah, it's actually starting right now, Alex. Yeah, it's right now. Right here, right now. So All right, Julia and the prodigy Roxanne Perez kicking off the show for some ungodly reason. The longest reigning women's champions kicking off the show right away. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. There we go. All right, we got 6 viewers in the house. Thank you guys for showing up so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Roxanne rocking the the black and red for New Year's Evil. Matches the color of the promo posters. What's up, Deb? What's up, Stampede? Yeah, I was just making a point here. What's up, Catherine? I was just making a point there just a minute ago. It's like their longest reigning champion on the damn show, and they're leading off with this. Are we real? Are we really doing this way? Is that what's really happening? Well, I guess it is. Hey, it is what it is. And, I'm going to be excited anyway. As long as Julia wins tonight, I will be... I'll be happy. I think it's time. And plus, you got the Royal Rumble coming up anyway, and they want to throw Roxanne in the damn thing anyway. So why not just go ahead and pull the trigger on it tonight? Shawn Michaels or Triple H or, whoever's booking this stuff. Roxanne Perez being introduced as the champion. 2-time champion to be exact. So Roxanne and Trick Williams are the 2-time champions around there. It'd be funny if they won them 5 times, then they could run right behind Booker and go to 5-time NXT champion, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and there's absolutely no discourse hardly whatsoever. That was a twofer right there. That was like a headlock takeover into a spike DDT all at one time. That looked good. But then again, these ladies are consummate professionals, so that's exactly what's going to happen. Roxanne locking her down in an armbar, spinning around into a slight modified crucifix, then a mount. 1 and 2, not enough. Uh-oh. Julia is very, very, very calm through this match. That's something they're pointing out, something I'm pointing out too, because, without that, it's real easy to get lost once you get in the deep end out there, ladies and gentlemen. I saw that. Covalent just posted that as it was going. You know what? I think I'm just going to pass, because I'm going to be busy doing a live watch along for AEW Dynamite. And just an announcement, going forward for the foreseeable future, we will only be covering AEW New Japan and a few other. We're going to be covering that, like Stardom and things like that. We're not dealing much with WWE. We can watch it, but and I'll be in some of the streams doing live reviews with some of the folks, and I'm more than happy to do it that way for a little while. Gives me a little break off of this, because I just realized that with the exception of Sunday, I've been streaming since the previous weekend, and I've had like 2 days off. And, it is what it is. We need to start picking and choosing our battles pretty wisely here. That way we don't waste resources on things. So, for the foreseeable future, that's how we're going to be doing it. I could really care less about WWE ID. I think it's going around up there. I did see an article today talking about that, and apparently we got stomach bugs going through North Carolina too. I've had one for a couple days, and they're doing picture in picture right now, which is actually how this should be done for a championship match. But yeah, I mean, I've had a stomach bug for the last couple of days. I didn't eat much yesterday at all. I did drink beer because, hey, beer is beer. But yeah, we're gonna be doing solid work with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I was really enthralled by that the other night, this past weekend. We're gonna be handling AEW, we're gonna be handling Ring of Honor, and we're gonna be handling Stardom and an occasional MLW or something to that effect. We're gonna be doing that, maybe some GCW. I don't know, but see, like tonight, they've got one hellacious MLW or MZW match on right now. They've got a hellacious show on there right now that I'd love to be covering. But it just is what it is. WWE's been relatively good to me. I'm not going to lie. It's just I have to make a choice. And if I'm going to give you good, honest coverage, and I'm going to be real every single night, I have come to the conclusion that a lot of what's going on with WWE right now in this moment is not something that I can just sit there and smile away anymore. So, I mean, I'll be doing reviews with probably Reese over there at the Weekly Steel Chair, some with Catherine. I'll be doing reviews on WWE, but I will not be doing live watch-alongs, things like that for WWE, except for the premium live events. So when NXT drops a premium live event, it'll be right there. We got 25 viewers in the house right now. 25 viewers. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I know I got a regular group that's about 60, 65 strong. I don't know. I thought about it an awful lot, and I know that, but it's just like we got to get a break somewhere. Yeah, Corey Graves. So they introduced Corey Graves on commentary tonight. They got The Rock coming out after this. They're throwing a whole lot of spaghetti at the wall for this thing to see what's going to stick. Makes me wonder if a conversation hasn't already been had with CW. I really believe that, because they're throwing way too much at this for what it requires. Whether anybody says that or not, maybe I'm the first person to say it. I don't know. But, Roxanne's still firmly in control over here. I wish they would move that over here so I wouldn't have to crane so hard to see it. But, that actually made my shoulder hurt right there, girl. But we're going with a new layout. We're going to have a new setup. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. I just got in a frame set to go around this. And, we're going to have framing. We're going to have lighting. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. It's going to be my own little private fun place here for the longest time when we're doing those streams, because the reality of it is, those of you who sat in with us on that New Japan stream, I just looked at that, just kind of vanity watch to see where my numbers were on that thing. And we were in stream for a total of 7 hours and 52 minutes between Collision and New Japan. And the following night, we were in stream for 5 hours. So, yeah, I'm wondering if a conversation has not been had with CW to say, look, man, you need to start bringing in something that's going to bring us more views, or, it's been real. Yeah, the refs are wearing those shirts. Actually, the reason they're all there is because WWE offered them a contract, and they're like, hell yeah, guaranteed money, and I don't even have to work half as hard as where I was. Not enough for 3, though. But yeah, I'm thinking a conversation at some point in time was had by leadership at CW. And to be honest with you, I'm expecting the same scenario at Netflix to happen. Probably in the next week or two, you're going to see some downsizing, like you saw the president of CW step down 2 weeks after this show popped on. Things like that. I think you're going to start seeing signs that the numbers are not as billed. And I mean, I realize they're carrying fans. They're going to carry a lot of fans. That's going to happen. But, 650, 720 on free TV. I think CW was hoping for a milli. Now we're having dueling slaps here on television. There we go. Better cover up, girl. It's about to get nasty. Yeah. Yep. But like I said, once we get all the stuff put together and get the new layout, get the new setup for the streaming area all done and everything, I think it's going to be cool. I've got a whole bunch of neons going up and all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, I have really, really, really sacked into this. And I don't want to waste it, I don't want to waste it. I put a lot of effort into making the place look nice and everything else. And, it just is what it is. I try to strive for the professionalism everybody expects, and so on and so forth. Looks like Giulia might be in position here. Now, this is going to hurt. Double underhook suplex. Roxanne and Giulia, they are in the deep end. They are 3 miles out right now as we speak. This is getting better and better by the minute. Uh-oh. Power drive done. Whatever that was. Oh, it's going to be Roxanne, Deb. Joe Hendry's contract. Everybody's making all this stupid hoopla about that. Joe Hendry's contract's not even up until the end of this year. So, yeah, Roxanne will get called up long before Joe Hendry gets called up. Although the best part about it is Joe Hendry ought to be counting his lucky stars, because when he gets to WWE, they ain't going to let him run independents like that. Got her in the crossface. Got her in the crossface. Wait a minute here. Pop Rocks slipped out of it. The fact that this is even a struggle, it is what it is. I know it's WWE. I know it's WWE. I know. But for those of us who have actually seen Giulia go, the fact that this is even a struggle, I'm just still sitting here going, you signed on the dotted line. There you go. They got 6 seconds. Pop Rocks. Not enough for 3. Good. Heading back for armbar. Heading back for the armbar. Almost 3. Did they just call that the Arrivederci knee? Are we serious? That's it. New champ. Told you. That's it. New champ. Giulia wins. So we're opening up the show with a title change right now. Did they seriously just call that the Arrivederci knee? I mean, is that where we're at right now, guys? I mean, it is what it is. So Roxanne's heading on up. And as you were asking, who's getting called up first? There it is right there. Roxanne's definitely getting called up first. Probably going to make her debut on the main roster in the Royal Rumble, which I've heard from several different sources. They did call it the Arrivederci knee. I mean, I hope they pay her good. That's all I got to say. I hope they pay her a hell of a lot more than they paid Rhea Ripley during her contract. $250K up and until this one. They're paying her $250K a year. That was her contract. Now, of course, she gets merch sales and all that, but her original contract with WWE was $250K. For all that championship run she did, she was working off $250K. Yeah, Battle of the Valley, that one women's match, that qualifying contending match is a walking cheat code right there. And that's what I'm trying to say. See, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy this. Don't get me wrong. Very happy. Follow Gulia. Follow Stephanie. I don't know an awful lot about Delta, but she's growing on me, or whatever they're calling her these days. But, you know, it is what it is on that. Uh-oh, somebody's got a uh-oh. And Eddie's down there working the oh yeah, Buddy was making like, oh my God. Buddy's making like, I think 650, 750, something like that, working for AEW. I mean, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I do believe we're getting Stephanie Vicour next. What is lining them all up for me tonight? Start off with Gulia. Now we're heading to Stephanie Vicour. Now I'm pulling for Stephanie to win this match. I'm not going to lie. I don't even care if Delta's in it. Vicour, sorry. It was Vicour before she left. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. All right, and they're heading to a commercial break here. We are going to take one with them. I will be right back here in just a minute, guys. Just a minute, 60 seconds. And I'm back. They're still running commercials, but I'm back. What the hell? Why not? You know? Um No, I'm definitely covering that show. We're definitely having a watch along for Battle of the Valley. Probably going to have some audio in there. Got some word from Walker on how to do things where it doesn't cause any problems. So that's what we're going to do there a little bit as well. I do have some agreements with them. So that's the other reason I'm putting more energy into it, because New Japan and AEW are putting energy into me. So I'm going to put energy back into them. That's just another reason for it. That's why I asked originally if you guys would be upset if I just dropped WWE altogether, except for the please. And that was the main reason why. I'm getting some positive response back from AEW, as well as New Japan. So, I mean, that they asked me, so I'm like, okay, we're good with it. We're good. I know what we're doing now. And at least we got something to work with. That's the best part of it right there. see here. All righty. We're sitting at 40 viewers right now. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. But yeah, we're going to come back with some, excuse me. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they've been very responsive. I've sent email after email after email after email to WWE. I get nothing from them. I sent one email to AEW and they're like, here's the keys. Send an email to New Japan, here's the keys. Send an email to Stardom, here's the keys. To me, it's just like it's a no-brainer. And I know that, Catherine. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's going to be supporting. Just want to give you something better to support, and my energy will be better. My energy will be much better for that stuff than it is for this, and that's fact. And it's just simply because they don't want to budge on anything. I'm like, what if we do it like this? Oh, no, we can't do it like that. I'm like, it's over-the-air television. Wouldn't it be a good idea to try to show things? No. Okay, cool. Then we just won't do it. We're good. For the over-the-air stuff. I understand why New Japan does it the way they do it, and I get it. We had a good conversation about that. And I understand why AEW does it the way they do it, and we had a great conversation about that as well. They are just more amenable to getting their product out there, and I'm more amenable to putting it out there. Yeah, it does. I mean, like this one moment right here, I'm like, okay, let me make sure I got my mind wrapped around this. You've got Roxanne, who is their longest reigning NXT champion in any brand, in any part of it right now. She is the longest reigning, and they turned her into the curtain jerk. And I'm not so sure that wasn't to devalue a little bit more. I'm not sure if that wasn't to devalue Giulia a little bit. I'm trying to wrap my mind around why this is happening, And then now the next match makes perfect sense because I got Stephanie Vaquer winning that, Vaquer, whatever the hell they want to call it. I got her winning. And so, that will set up the match perfectly, like what I was thinking it was going to do for, for sit down and under deliver, So, it is what it is. 7.5, that's about where I was, Stampede. I looked at it, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good run so far, and I hope Giulia keeps the belt for a little while. But, obviously, Stephanie and Delta are ready to go up to the main roster as well. No, something like that. If something like that had happened, his jaw was not wired. Lola Vice making her way down to the ring, all six of her. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to be happily watching the show, but I don't have to feel like I'm draining myself trying to say stuff that, and I'm going to say 95% of what I say on the stream, I absolutely kind of agree with. I don't go like full, like, I'm not going full just idiot on the whole thing. But, some of it is like I have to find a way to do it as a fan, and then I have to look at it as a fan, then I have to talk about it like a fan. And even as a fan, this shit is draining. So Stephanie's probably going to win this. Cora Jade's going to be a punching dummy here for about 20 minutes, and that's it. Well, not even 20 minutes, maybe 8. All right, Stephanie Vaquer and Everett. What the? Not enough for 3. Uh-oh. So we're going for all kinds of pinfalls here right now, and Cora Jade popping in there. At least she's got gear that's going to stay on right this time. So at least she learned. She learned from the last one. Not even enough for one. Uh-oh. Got her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why are you breaking that up? This was fun. Big super kick there. I don't have a whole lot of love for Cora Jade myself. I just don't. I don't. I mean, she's done basically everything it takes to make it as a WWE diva. Let that sink in for just a second. She got all the goods if they still had divas. Seriously. And she can actually wrestle too. So I mean, not to the extent she can wrestle. Most of us remember when those divas matches were slap happy and bra and panty matches. None of them could really wrestle until Trish got there and Lita and people like that. So, but I'm saying if they were still doing WWE divas, she'd be spot on. I mean, that's just basically it. If they were doing that, she'd be perfect. Let me go ahead and do that real quick there so I don't catch a commercial by accident because it is what it is. Let's see here. So, yep, they're working it out over here. It looks like Cora Jade's about to pick up something like a pin. There we go. A little stiff elbow there. Driving in with a bad knee. 1 and 2, and not enough for 3. Kalani Jordan just can't put it away. I mean, in reality, Kalani Jordan just can't put it away. So I guess instead of calling it picture in picture, we're calling it nonstop NXT now. Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan. Now that is a good matchup right there. I'm not even going to play. As far as talent level and everything else, that is a really, really, really good. That's a good matchup, at least to showcase a little bit. Got her in a submission. There we go. Lola Vice trying to get her in a pinning predicament. That'll make her break the hold. Yeah, I know. And right out is the intro match, Right as the intro match is. That's what we're doing these days, guys. That is exactly what we're doing. Big swing and a miss and caught her on the backside with that one. That was really good. Pause. And no pause, really. All right, it should be time for Stephanie to pop in here and show off. There she is. Oops, missed. Swing and a miss. Lola Vice gets her into a submission hold yet again. Yeah, these matches are, wow, we've got a double submission now. Cora Jade on top of Lola Vice. And not to be outdone, Kalani Jordan has a submission on Cora Jade. That'll take all three of them out right there. All three of them with one headbutt, one jawbreaker. And they're back. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Stephanie about to get to working like the Rents do here. This ain't good. We're going to get a dragon. Yep, there you go. You're done. Have a good day. And Stephanie is totally badass in this gear right here. I'm just going to put that out there. And here comes yet another submission hold because it worked so well the last 9 times. Almost enough for 3. There you go. Wow, she just kicked the living shit out of her. Big hip attack. Missed the hip attack on that one. Cora Jade with a solid kick. And the funny part of it is I have a feeling Cora Jade's the one that's going to eat the pin. Well, maybe not like that. That's for sure. Oh! Big crossbody off the top. Big crossbody off the top. We're almost at 50. All right. Kalani Jordan in position to do something here. Looks like it's going to be a moonsault. Almost hit the mark. I mean, if it was horseshoes and hand grenades, she'd be right there. Yeah, I think Cora Jade's the one that's going to eat the pin at this point. She's the one getting the crap beat out of her. Crossbody, reverse. Almost enough for 3, but not quite enough. Uh-oh. No. No. Kalani Jordan hit something. Lola Vice with that reverse elbow and a super kick out of Stephanie. Game over. Game over. That's it. Stephanie McClure picking up the victory here over Kalani Jordan, which blew all our predictions to death. I didn't see Kalani Jordan eating the pin. I thought it'd be Cora Jade. I thought they were protecting Kalani Jordan. Apparently not, though. Stephanie McClure. All right, there's your number 1 contender, Stephanie McClure against Giulia. Oh, North American Championship. Okay. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Yeah, Jordan's going to win the title. The result remains the same. Fatal Influence making their way to the ring right now. And yeah, they're just, I think a conversation has been had because we are 40 minutes into this and we're on our third match. Comparing that, of course, to other shows that we've watched this week, where we were, what, an hour and some change deep and we only had one match at the time? Fallon Henry, who actually liked my post for this, by the way. Big shout out to Fallon Henry. She gave me a like on one of my posts for this watch along show here. Wow, that was interesting. Oh, yeah, they're ready. All right, then we're just waiting for Paxley, Shotzi, and Gigi Dolan to make their way down to the ring here next. And that'll be right after this commercial break, which we will be back in approximately 60 seconds. And I'm back. We got 53 people watching right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. But yeah, I mean, it's not hard to book women. It really isn't, and in fact, it's easier, really. I mean, the egos are there, but I mean, overall, it's like women are just women are just so easier to work with when it comes to things because it's like they plan, you know? It's like it seems to me like the women put a lot more effort into their matches, and that makes it easier to book to begin with. But yeah, I mean, it's not hard to book women. It really isn't. I don't understand what the problem is over there. And I'm not 100% sure that Shawn Michaels is even that bad of a booker when it comes to women. Now, I don't know. But I got to tell you right now, somebody did a skit on top of Pat McAfee, and it is hilarious. Oh boy, this just ain't never gonna stop, is it? That's amazing. Wow. There we go. There we go. Yeah, women are tougher too. I mean, people aren't willing to hear that. They just don't want to hear it. Women are just, it's like when I played pool. I played pool professionally for about 20 years. And I didn't mind playing men at all. But when it came around tournament time and I was facing a woman, it was like it was a completely different game because they see it completely different. They're very strategic. And I'll tell you, the hardest matches I ever played were against women. And in a lot of situations, they could almost outthink me. And I'm just like, on that level, that's just not easy to do because, like I said, we don't see the game the same way. And yeah, I mean, I'd rather play 10 men than one woman. And that's just all there is to it. And, you know, they're tougher mentally, they're tougher physically. And even if you don't believe in a God or anything like that, spiritually speaking, women are tougher too. They just are. It is what it is. So, I mean, some guys are tough, but most women are tougher. You know, it just is what it is. Like I said, when I played pool, I had no desire whatsoever to play women. I'd play all the men all day long, but you know, it just did, you know. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, look, it's Triple Nose and Nick Khan. All right, yeah, because you know we can't have, yeah, pause for real. Um, but yeah, we can't have a WWE event without those two guys in it. It's just impossible. Can't do it. Nice. Sorry about that. It's just been a long day. At least today wasn't as bad as yesterday, but it was pretty dang it was running neck and neck there for a little while. But yeah, I mean, it was running neck and neck for a while. Thank you guys. We're doing really, really well tonight. Oh no, 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 no. No, I'm just saying in pool, I would rather in playing billiards or anything like that. That's an absolute fact. And if you ask any pro out there, I mean, Shane Van Boeing, he prefers playing men too. I mean, it's that's why he doesn't do a lot of tournaments where it's set up a way where it could work out that way because they just don't want to do it, you know. And I have lots of good female friends that play pool at a very high level. And by high level, I mean I think their Fargo rates are a couple of them I know now are finally getting into the 800s. They're getting close. So, oh, don't worry. The Rock is totally going to waste our time. He's going to invite us back to NXT next week and all that stuff. I don't know that he's going to waste our time, but it's anything like that thing last night. It's not far off. You know that. I know that. I have a lot of questions about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's for the APAs. That's one of the dreams for the APA people is to make it to Vegas. And that was another thing too. They wanted me to play APA, and then I ran into too many sandbaggers. And yeah, I mean, it's just overall, it was just a crazy, crazy life. But yeah, even in that right there, I'd rather seriously, it's insane how they see the game differently than we do. It's insane because I'd ask every once in a while. I got a couple of them. Texas Tornado, yeah, 3 straight women's matches. I think they're trying to make a point. I'm not even going to lie. I think they're leaning into a particular post I saw on a WWE board. I can't remember if it was WWE or WWE AEW, but they were reporting the amount of hello. So we're going already straight into the ass kicking part of this. But yeah, Jasmine Nix, there's a lot of talent in this ring too. Tatum Paxley made a believer out of me. Now she's one of them I could get behind too. Hello. But not enough for 3. Oh, hello. But yeah, they had a post up that was measuring out the hours of wrestling for, I think, between Raw and Raw of last week. And it was like really crazy how the percentages were for women's matches. I'm still trying to figure out how they did that. And this is how they did it. Because they were talking about the balance between the men and women in WWE, and it was like 50.1 to 49.9, basically. And whereas in AEW, it's like, it's pretty much like 65 to 70 to 30%. And in some cases, I think overall this past week, it was 80 some percent men and like 19 something or 17 something percentage women, things like that. They were just making a point about it. And I was trying to figure out how they pulled that off. And now I'm starting to figure it out here because, like, we've got literally the first hour of this show dedicated to the women. So they're going to get at least an hour of TV time out of this 2-hour show. So now it's starting to make sense to me. That post is really starting to make sense to me. I still don't agree with it for wrestling time, but it is what it is. The fact of the matter is, we're still going to have 8 hours of wrestling to 4 hours of wrestling, and the percentage of, or the amount of hours in the 8-hour wrestling is not going to be as much as the amount of hours of wrestling in the 4 hours of wrestling. That's generally how this thing's coming together. See, one of the other things, dropping Rampage off there just gets them down to 4 hours exactly. Gigi with that headbutt was just nasty. Fallon Henry with that swing like that was pretty damn interesting too. So yeah, I mean they're putting it out there. And once again, they are going to a commercial. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. They are still planning on doing a Saturday night's main event, but I think it's going to be closer to the end of the month. They're going to be doing that to compete with Collision. Collision has some event coming on at the end of the month. So they're going to be running that one as well, sort of as a competition. We'll see how it plays out. And I'm almost wondering how the streaming numbers are going to make it out. So I'm almost expecting some kind of presentation tomorrow about streaming numbers. Even though we've been talking about we're not going to do that, some tells me they're going to figure it out. It really does. Some tells me they're going to figure it out, and it's just going to be the way of it. So if that happens, then that's going to be a whole nother cornball bag of stuffs, you know? And they're back. At least on my side here. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, I'm a big Gigi Dolan fan myself. I think she got shafted last year when the call ups happened. There's a reason behind that. I'm not sure if the dirt sheets were totally accurate about it, but there was a story circulating. Shotzi's probably down on the side of the ring here. But there was a dirt sheet that threw it out there that said the reason she didn't get called up the last time is because Becky was on the roster and he didn't want two redheads on the same roster. So she had to wait while everybody else went up. And of course, she got hurt after that. So, it is what it is. There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Gigi got the hot tag and she's doing it. She's doing the damn thing. Nice. Not enough for 3, though. Uh-oh. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Flying crossbody block from Shotzi on everybody. There it is. And the big save coming on the other side there because they had plenty to hold her down. I mean, it's all working out, Deb. I'm just saying, I heard that from a dirt sheet and it made the most sense and it actually caught traction with a whole lot of other trusted sources. So I had to believe that was the reasoning behind it. And like I said, it's silly on them for not doing it. What's up, Mike Maga? How you doing? Shotsky up top here. Shotzi with a Shotsky right there. Picking up the win. And a pin over the Women's North American Champion. Yeah, Shotzi just pinned Fallon Henry. And I guess they're going to be calling themselves the Freaks, so there we are. So the Freaks win. I don't see anything freakish about any of them, but that's okay. Shotzi with the coffin drop. I don't know what they call it over there, but I know what they call it on my other shows. So, yeah, Shotzi picking up the win. Gigi Dolan up there. Everybody up there just styling and profiling. Raw is not even remotely in the parking lot of the zip code, 7 zip codes away from the #1 show on Netflix. That's right. You're in your proper spot there, Ethan. And there's The Rock. Now, I know damn good and well Ethan Page ain't bucking up to The Rock. Because even The Rock's old ass could whip his. That's just a fact. That's how you big bro somebody, by the way. Oh my God.
Bruh. Not the cap.
For real. Oh my God. I got buttons for this. I got buttons for all this. Father-daughter team, though, I got to give them credit for that. That's a pretty good moment right there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of bleeps on that one. I got a feeling. That's going to be a lot of bleeps on there. Wow. All right, they're getting ready to head to yet another commercial break, as I just heard when we come back. All right, so they went to picture-in-picture here for the moment. Hang on a second here. Yeah. Some of this makes no sense. Dev, none of this makes sense. That's the whole thing of it. And then Bully was trying to make it make sense. He's like, now when I was, and nobody gives a flying flip what he did back in the day. But he's like, when I was in TNA, I went in there, I was nice to everybody, and then I kicked their ass. I'm like, yeah, but this ain't that. I mean, this ain't that at all. So yeah, Yeah, if anybody still has a dictionary, that's correct, Stampede. If you go look up the definition of the word pointless, that picture right there is going to show up. And I tell you what else, if you want to look up the definition of some word that I can't say right now, that picture will also be there as well. It's crazy. It's Brian Pillman Jr. Yeah, and he's already calling him. I'm like, if you go to his page right now on X, he's got a picture of him standing outside there, calling himself a Hollywood blonde, all the while trying to say, I'm breaking away from my dad's legacy, so I'm a Hollywood blonde singular. You know? Well, Busted, I can't miss it. Even though I've got these people blocked, the shit still shows up everywhere. So I'm like, hey, I want to be entertained by LaGreca for a minute. And LaGreca was damn entertaining. Then Bully steps in there, and I'm like, all right, I'll give the man a listen, see what he's got to say. And he was sitting there justifying this shit. I mean, he was solid ass justifying. It's like, well, when I was in TNA, I did the same thing, and it got over. Man, motherfucker, TNA wasn't seen by more than 95,000 people. What got over? Now, while we're sitting here talking about ratings and attendance, that was the ratings and attendance. They were seen by like 95,000 people, and if they were really having a good night, they had 600 people in the building. So what needle did that move? But he's still sitting there trying to, when I was in it, when I was TNA, that's what I did. And I was like, man, will y'all just stop trying to justify this and just say, hey, we laid a big old fat pile of cow shit, and we're sorry about that, but a lot of people liked it, and the Netflix executives were too drunk to pay attention. So, hey, overall it was a good night. I mean, if they just go off and tell the truth for a change, it would be nice. I could tolerate that. I've been on this show and I've laid out some fucking piles of cow shit too. And I admit it when it happens. That has happened in my lifetime. But yeah, I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, and we're doing the Heritage Cup thing again. And we got Mike Rome introducing everybody in right now. I'll have the camera back up in just a minute. We are approaching 70 viewers tonight. Thank you. I'll have the camera back up in a minute, guys. I'm just trying to decompress. That's all. He didn't lose. That's the whole thing. That was some janky bullshit thing they came up with, where he got the cup back after a video review or some shit like that. He had the cup. Oh my God. Somebody posted that, didn't they, Catherine? Please tell me somebody did not post that. Ethan Page went from doing basically nothing in AEW because he's personally creatively bankrupt and he didn't feel like working. until sharing TV time with The Rock. Oh my God. I was afraid that shit was going to happen when I saw that segment. I'm like, somebody's going to post, look at the former AEW wrestler now kicking it with The Rock. But that's pretty much the same damn thing. Oh my God. And we don't even have a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. That's the crazy part. Well, we have New Japan coming up, but they don't mess with New Japan. For some reason, they don't bother New Japan when they're doing stuff. And I have yet to figure that out. I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't figured that one out yet. But it is what it is, what it is, what it is. But yeah, I mean, we're doing stuff. We're having fun here. That's what we're going to do for the rest of the night. We're going to have nothing but fun for the rest of the night. And I want to I want to take a moment while they're doing all this stuff here. I want to take a moment to let everybody know the people who have been here for the WWE event weekly. God, I hate that weekly episodic television watch-alongs. I really appreciate you. But it's like, and I hope that you'll keep coming for the AEW and New Japan and ROH streams and things like that, because I'm gonna have some really good stuff. We're gonna have some really good content. It's just I had to make a decision of whether or not I wanted to put an investment into eight hours of weekly wrestling, and if they decide to do a Saturday night's main event, that I want to try to split up and do a double watch along and fit that in somewhere. And right now, I mean, no. So that's just it. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for the WWE stuff. We're just going to take a break from it for a few months, see how the New Japan stuff goes, and I will start to slowly integrate it back in. But doing 12 days in a row is unbelievable, and it's just crazy. So I did about 12 days in a row of streaming and dropped about 5.5 terabytes of video out there and the whole 9 yards. And it's just, and then it's just crazy. So and they're heading to another commercial break here. And they're heading to a real commercial break as opposed to picture in picture. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. What's up, Nunya? What's up? We got 73 people in the chat. Hey. Y'all like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We getting there with that lighting. We're getting that lighting right one way or the other. We're going to get it right. What's up, Reese? Well, they're all on the show tonight, Reese. I'm telling you that. Yeah, they're all in here, Reese. They've all been in here. Of course, Julia winning the title and Stephanie Vacour taking over the number one thing was easily predictable. I think that when it's all said and done, Stephanie Vacour will probably get called up. Delta will get called up. Julia will probably sit there and anchor for a little while until she learns the WWE style a little bit better. I mean, she needs to learn it. Doesn't necessarily mean she needs to practice it, but she definitely needs to learn it. And yeah, so that's that. Did you ever catch up with what is his name? Oh goodness, Mike Cahoney, to see if y'all gonna be able to do a show together there, Reese? Because I was getting hyped about that. Dev, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna save you a little bit on this. This is my prediction for Ethan on Raw or SmackDown. He's not going to Raw first, he's going to SmackDown. They're not gonna put him on Raw. That's my first prediction right there. When Ethan gets up to the main roster, that's if he gets out of NXT anytime soon. I don't know that they're going to call him up that fast. But if he gets out of NXT, I've got a bad feeling they're going to be treating him just like they treat Andrade. Well, he probably got caught up in something. That's part of what I was thinking, is something probably came up, or maybe somebody told him that he had another engagement or something like that. The problem when you get with the bigger accounts, like I've got 2 hanging out there right now, but my guy Bishop Khan is over in France right now. He got picked up for a France show. So we're off for right now for a couple of weeks. But I mean, when they call and they say, hey, it's time to go earn money, I'm perfectly fine with waiting on that. Same thing with Riho out of Progress Wrestling. I'm looking forward to doing both of those. I mean, I am literally looking forward to both of those. But I'm going to get my cage set up and everything. I'm going to get my entire area laid out first. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to utilize him the way everybody thinks they're going to utilize him. And everybody thought that chair shot on Bouncy Guy there was going to be the ticket to get him up to the main roster. And it just, I don't know. They don't even have a scoreboard here, so I'm guessing nobody's picked up a pen yet or anything. Uh-oh, Charlie's bleeding. Charlie's bleeding. That would probably be as far. That's his ceiling right there, Dev. I think that's his ceiling. I think that's his absolute ceiling. I'm not gonna lie. I think he becomes something like Miz. Maybe they give him a loyalty run with a title like Stampede said, goes after the U.S. title. Yeah. Who was it said they go after the? No, Reese said that. Reese said they would go after the U.S. title. That's as far as I see Ethan Page going. I don't see him going any further than that. And quite frankly, from the attitude I've seen from him when he does interviews, he literally does not care. And not enough for 3. I think Dempsey's got a concussion. They're going to have to call it. They're going to have to call it here in a minute. I think Dempsey has a concussion. Lights are on, nobody's home. Yes, they should, Stampede. And that's a legit pin right there. That's a clean pin. But I figured they were going to have to pull the trigger on this thing because he looks concussed. Dempsey looks concussed. He's just got that look in his eyes, that 1,000-yard stare, like the lights are on and nobody's home. But now Lexis King is the legitimate NXT Heritage Cup champion. And yes, I do agree with you, Stampede. I agree with you. I think they should run the Heritage matches more similar to the Pure Rules match. Because there's a lot of playroom in that too, especially when you start running off with the rope breaks and everything like that. Once you use your 3 rope breaks and all that good stuff. All right, so Lexis King getting his name on the trophy for real. Fallon Henry upset. Except you didn't. Yeah, just why? All right, I'm going to go into analytical mode here for just 1 minute. I promise I'm going to keep it simple and it's not going to be scathing. Why in the blue bloody hell did we kick this thing off right after Giulia with a fatal 4-way to determine the number 1 fucking contender for this thing, and then turn around and go, oh, well, I pinned her in a tag team match? Can someone make any of that make sense, please? I'm open to any suggestion as to what the hell just happened right there. I mean, this isn't chaos. This is bankrupt booking. Seriously, this is not chaos. This is bankrupt booking. Anyway, Whoop That Trick's making his way out here. Mr. Catchphrase himself making his way to the ring right now. Yeah, I sat there and watched this go, and I'm like, surely to God she's not. Yep, she just did it. So we just took an entire match that you got invested in, that we got excited about, to have a Stephanie and Fallon Henry match. So we put that title on Stephanie, and Fallon Henry can get her happy ass called up for all I care about. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, I pinned him in a tag team match, so I'm making the case that I'm the number 1 contender. I like Shotzi. I do. I like Shotzi. I'm a big fan of Shotzi. This did her absolutely no favors whatsoever. And I stand on that. Yeah, it's Triple H's fault, Jennifer. What's up, girl? Hiding in there, ninja watching. I see you ninja watching over there. Oh yeah, I knew, Reese. I dropped that. I dropped that out. When I saw that, I was like, cheat code. And Covalent TV even like that. I said it's a Covalent TV certified cheat code because this got 4 women in it to fucking go. So yeah, I know, I'm with you on that, Dev. At least you made a good case for it. I can respect that. I really can. I can respect that. It's just from a booking standpoint, that made not one fucking bit of sense. No. We're having another match next week, Stampede. Stephanie and Shotzi are going to have an actual match again to determine the number one contender again. 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 Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you, Stampede. That's why I was like, hang on a minute here. That's where I got stuck in the middle of that, and I'm like, I'm going to have to get analytical here for just a minute. I know I normally do these things as a fan-based watch-along thing, but that was creative bankruptcy. That was beyond creative bankruptcy. That's creative bankruptcy, and they're still not paying the bill bankruptcy. Okay? That was just horrible. That was horrible. I understand where Dev's coming from. At least he can make it make sense a little bit. Maybe this builds Stephanie up a little bit more. Who the hell knows? But I am a big fan of Shotzi too. Don't get me wrong. Shotzi and I'm a big fan. Yeah, it makes less than 0 cents. Because we just had a match to determine who was going to fight Fallon Henry. And all they're doing is putting her move up another week off. And if they keep playing with it, it's going to get too close to Royal Rumble, and they're not going to be able to fit her in the match. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to that match. It's not for the women's title. It's for the it's for a women's title, but it's for the North American women's title. It's not actually for the NXT title. I misspoke at the beginning of the show. I'm very much looking forward to the New Japan show. I'm stoked for it. I think it probably is going to come on at 11 o'clock at night, and I don't even give a damn about that. I will take energy drinks if I have to do that show. So, same thing with the New Japan thing coming up here shortly as well. They're going to have another 2-day event, which means we're going to be covering, what? Like, I'm going to have another 12-hour weekend on that. But that's a labor of love right there. That is an absolute labor of love because I enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty. I'm here for that. The price is right. I mean, for real, $10? Are we serious? Are we even having this conversation anymore? $10? Shut up and take my money. Take it and I will give it to you with a smile for that kind of wrestling. This right here, on the other hand, so Obafemi's making his way to the ring. Are we sure we don't have any last-minute number one contenders we want to throw in this fucking match? I mean, don't stop there. Just keep going all the way, you know? I mean, if you're going to bong the card, bong it all the way, I always say. You know, shoot. Hell, for that much, let's get, Lexus King just won the cup. That's good enough. Let's throw him in there, you know? Battle in the Valley is good, yeah. Hey, we could throw, yeah, there you go. We could throw The Rock into this match. The Rock could just insert himself into the match. That'll make it make absolutely no sense. So we'll be right on the same book for the rest of the night. So, I mean, it is what it is, but that was some janky ass booking right there. That was just some janky ass booking. Don't say that too loud. Hell, he might show up for the main event. We might get Joe Hendry. You know? Wait a minute, where's the other guy at? So we got Obafemi and Trick Williams, but we're missing Dude out of this thing here. Well, at least he is from down the road. Columbia ain't that far from where I'm at right now. Oh, I know he got jumped earlier on the show, and what I'm thinking now is that what they're going to do is they're going to get down to where they're wore out because we've got 30 minutes and this is the main event. It kind of scares the living shit out of me. But I can see, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I can see Thorpe coming down after they're worn out, somebody running up and picking up the pin at this point. Because that's how it's been working for the last couple of weeks, and the fact that Eddie Thorpe even got in this match. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking he's going to show up and run his own interference, which is moderately creative if you're in the middle of a bottle of cheap scotch. But speaking of cheap scotch, this is amazing. So we've got Trick Williams, we've got Obafemi. We're having a good time here. And yeah, that. Something like that, Reese. And yeah, Dev, I mean, except this time he legitimately was a victim. Oba went in there and took responsibility for it and said, yeah, I beat his ass so he wouldn't be in the match. I don't think that's the way it works, Oba. Not enough for 3 as Trick Williams picks up a quick 2. And what are we doing here? We're going to an actual commercial. I'll be right back in 60 seconds. And I'm back. Trick Williams is okay. And I think what's going to wind up happening by the time he gets up to the main roster here is we're going to find out that Obafemi is the draw. And when he comes up, I think he's got a shot. I think they're going to make him have a shot because he was an NIL guy. And they've got to have something there for the NIL to keep pushing this WWE ID program. He's going to pick up something based on that. That's exactly how Oba's going to pick up. Trick Williams, on the other hand, the main roster obviously wanted him enough, and I can't say this enough too, because the one the one actual praise that I had for Sami Zayn was when they were doing that segment with Alpha Academy, and he got ready to whip Chad Gable. This has been back several months ago. He got ready to whip Chad Gable. And the main roster crowd was like, whoop that trick. They started it. So he had to pivot right in the middle of that segment and change up what he was doing because WWE was not ready for that. But I think they're going to push Oba to the moon just to show these WWE ID people, hey, you too can be this one of these days. And that's how they're going to keep them hooked. I don't think they have to parade a WrestleMania moment in front of them. They just got to parade Obafemi winning any title. It can be the Intercontinental title. It can be the WWE title. If they had the Hardcore title, it could be the Hardcore title. It could be the 24/7 title. In fact, I think it could even be the Speed title. And they would say, look, you can get this far. Just stick with the ID program. It works. Trick has mastered a lot of theatrics. I agree with you on that, Dev. And Stampede, yes. Same thing with Reese. We all agree. Not enough for 3. Right about now is when we're going to see Thorpe. Excuse me. But I mean, right about now is when we're going to see Thorpe, and that means this match is going to go completely to hell in a handbasket. And we're just going to have to figure that out when the time comes. I'm like, some of the stuff that we're subjected to, I'm not saying watch. No, he doesn't. He needs to drag this out for another 10 minutes. So Eddie Thorpe, what are they going to do with the rest of the show? It is early for this match to be happening. What are they going to do with the rest of the show? Is The Rock going to come out and babble for like 10 minutes? Hey, Dev, the only reason I'm throwing that out there is because Andrade is the Speed champion right now. So, yes, Triple H indeed actually truly hates us. That's just a fact of life. Andrade is the fucking Speed champion right now. That's the whole thing of that. Andrade should be at least. That's the problem I'm concerned about. Rock promo and. Not enough. Not enough for the 3. Not enough for the 3. They're not going to give it time, Reese. They're going to wrap this thing up here in about, I don't know. I'm saying 5 more minutes, and they're going to give The Rock 15 minutes for a promo. Nice. One, not enough for 3. I already know that's happening. I told you he'd show up here in the middle of it. Dragon Lee. Okay, my bad. He beat Andrade for the Speed Championship. Andrade was the one before him. He'll say high escape for an NXT event. I know. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think that they use that just to kind of play the crowd that's in the building. Trick shot. Not enough for 3. Yeah, the only even time I'm watching it right now is because Natalia's in it. If Natalia wasn't in it, I wouldn't be watching the women's side. That's why I'm saying. The last time I checked, Andrade was Speed Champion. I guess it's Dragon Lee now. Basically, everybody in the LWO is going to wind up being the Speed Champion. Uh-oh. Oba about to win. 1, 2, 3. Oba did it. So that means The Rock's going to get 19 minutes for a promo. 19 minutes. Trick likely getting called up for the men's side of the Royal Rumble. Trick likely getting called up for that. Natalia's always a watch. That's the only reason I'm even watching that part. So now what's Eddie Thorpe's victim statement going to be after this? Never mind, it writes itself. I was just thinking about that. Never mind, the storyline just writes itself. He goes back there and says, well, if Oba hadn't have beat me up, I need to be the number one contender, blah, 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 blah.
And his name is John Cena.
Just like that. All right, they're going to commercial break. We're going to take that break with them. We'll be right back in about 60 seconds. And I'm back. They're still doing live stuff in the back here, but they got commercials running, so I can't get audio for it. Tensei back there, I can't ever remember his actual real name. Now the booking makes sense. The booking makes perfect sense now. But they're going to make sure that you know that Giulia got a title. That's Giulia, whatever they want to call it. And it looks like if we can ever get away from this picture-in-picture thing here, it looks like we might actually have The Rock showing up here. Dwayne Johnson. I'm just waiting on the commercials to stop so I can turn the volume back on. We got 83 people in the house tonight. Matt Bloom. Okay, yeah. That explains a little bit of it. It also explains why some of the other booking is really good. I like Matt Bloom. I call him Tensei. Here we go. But Tensei, or whatever we used to call him, Matt Bloom, that explains a lot more of the booking than Shawn Michaels does. Because Matt Bloom does know how to book. That's for sure. That much I do know. He's had some success in the indie environment, so on and so forth. Albert, I know, I call him Tensei because he was Tensei for a little while when they painted him up. Fraxium is going to be fighting OTM next week. I might watch it. I don't know. I might watch it. But I got to see something better than that. A-Train days were fun too. Yes, they were. If you smell... And they're actually doing his new final boss entrance here. Pretty much.
Bruh.
If you smell what Dwayne Johnson is cooking. That literally tells me everybody overpaid for tickets. If they've got to throw The Rock out there, you know, what Stampede was alluding to earlier, this tells me automatically everybody overpaid for the tickets. Are you trying to tell me you're getting goosebumps for a developmental show? Oh my God. I heard something earlier today that just absolutely blew my mind, and Paul Heyman was the one that said it. You just brought that up, and that reminded me. Catch that Paul Heyman segment out of the media scrum last night, or the press or whatever the hell they call theirs. Everybody's sitting down, I hope, when I say this, because otherwise you're going to fall flat out on the floor. Paul Heyman, on that press release, on that press interview, or whatever the hell they're calling theirs, we call them media scrums where I come from, dead ass said that it is time for Roman Reigns to get an Emmy nomination. It is time for Paul Triple H Levesque to get an Emmy nomination, because WWE is the hottest show on Netflix. Therefore, that entire show should get an Emmy nomination. And he was dead ass serious. He wasn't his usual jokey self. I mean, he was literally dead ass serious. He was just absolutely dead ass serious. So I say that because here we go with another Emmy-nominated performance From Dwayne The Rock Johnson here, coming live on NXT, to which he has goosebumps for the developmental show. That tells you it's not a developmental show. No, it's still a developmental show. But they have definitely pulled out all the stops. That would be kind of cool. That would be actually funny right there, Deb. I'd like that. That would save this segment. Because I got a feeling we're going to get, he's drug it out long enough. We'll probably get at least 8 minutes of nonsensical babble coming up here in just a couple of minutes. If it even gets that far. But yeah, I mean, oh, they gave him a mic. It's over with now. Where's the hard cam? You know, and that comment from Paul Heyman ranks right up there with Jericho's comment for his, it could be interpreted as ballet. Who's going to be the judge for that? I mean, in all reality, who's going to be the judge for that? That's right. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, me and you's on the same page, Deb. Tony D and Cam Stack, yeah. That whole family thing has my attention. That was one of the main reasons I got back to watching NXT, because I think Tony D'Angelo is a prize. I really do. I think he's a prize somewhere. Here, get that close-up so you can see the goosebumps on The Rock's arm. And he's going to start off with finally. I'm like, finally's ass. You were just there last night. You know? Yeah, you're not going to get away with that on the big CW. That's a family show. So we definitely know they're running on a 5-second delay now. That's why they had to do that picture-in-picture, so they could convert over to 5-second delay. Oh boy. Way to go shit on the rest of the show, Rock. Wow. Pie eating. At least he got his rhymes back. There are people who paid $35 for the Final Boss shirt. Wow.
He has been kicking ass, carrying the company on his shoulders. And then what did they say? You can't be nice to Cody. You can't be nice to Cody. Don't drink tequila with Cody. At the end of the day, let us all remind them that The Rock is the final boss, thinking 20 steps ahead. So the best thing for them to do is to know their role, shut their mouth, and enjoy the ride that The Rock is taking them on.
Okay. By the way, all you people who think for yourself, know your role, shut your mouth, and enjoy whatever the fuck this is he's doing. Just a reminder. Now, wait a minute. Looks like you got the second coming of David Koresh down there in the stands. You may go all night, but you won't do it on CW. Exactly. Just get a therapist. I mean, seriously.
But the thing is, I didn't know what to say. Right? So, you think about it. I talked to Ava backstage. She said, you're going to go out there and you're going to feel this crowd.
That's right.
Let this crowd inform you and you're going to know what to say. So here's the thing. I love you back and I appreciate that. But I want to tell you something very important. The main thing I want to do is come out here and I want to tell you thank you. And I'll tell you why. Because going to the Intuit Dome.
And I'll tell you why.
Netflix, that's the sexy ticket. That's the ticket, right? Like, hey, go. You'll see celebrities. You'll see all the stars of the WWE. You'll see stars, celebrities. You'll see them all. That's the one that you have to go to. NXT, the Shrine here in Los Angeles. This is what you want to go to.
He's trying to talk them in the building, and they're already there. Exactly. D1 Yapper gimmick. Yep. Yep. But he's bucking for one. Let's give him an Emmy. Fuck it. Let's give Rock an Emmy. Let's give NXT an Emmy. Let's do that.
One of you, how important you are, how critical you are to this whole thing, okay? Because here's the thing. Those guys back there, those girls and guys who are working their ass off, they come out here in 3 years. Who knows? They could be the main event of WrestleMania.
They could be. Statistically doesn't play that out, but they could be. Statistically, that one plays out better.
I know what it's like, but I know what it's like to depend on the crowd. I want you to know that matter more than anything. I am here. Look, my job takes me away to a lot of places. I will always come back home to you. WWE, NXT, I love you.
And they're heading to the credits, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Grabs TV and the Sicko Show, and I've been your host, the Batty Man, for this live NXT watch along. And we finished out with 84 people tonight. We did have 85 at one time, but somebody said, this guy ain't for me, and I'm cool with that. we are definitely going to be covering tomorrow night for Dynamite. We're going to be covering Ring of Honor, and then we're going to skip over and we're going straight to Saturday for the Collision Watch Along. Then Sunday, we are definitely going to be doing New Japan. So you won't want to miss those at all. I want to thank every one of you for being here. For the moment, we won't be covering NXT probably for a couple of months. Give us a little bit of rest. Give us a little bit of time to figure out how we want to do things and so on and so forth. But you guys are really cool, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Stampede, that was basically, they wasted 45 minutes of our time tonight. You'll figure that, yeah, well, you already know. Some people will figure that out here in about 20 minutes. But the reality of it is if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. I probably would be talking to myself, but that's neither here nor there. I do appreciate each and every one of you. We will definitely be back tomorrow night. We will be back Thursday night. We will be back Saturday and Sunday. We're taking Friday off. We're not covering SmackDown. We're not covering Raw. We're not covering NXT next week. We're going straight back to Dynamite, and we're going that route for just a little while. And you know what? We're going to have a good time doing that too, because that I'll be more energized. I'll have more on my mind, and I'll have plenty to talk about. And we'll all be here, and we'll all be of like mind. Because it takes a like mind to enjoy that stuff, because it is not WWE hard cam style. It is not slow motion. It is not a clock. It is not a mental clock. It is none of that. So we're enjoying that. I'm still going to be watching the shows. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not going to be covering them for the watch along because, obviously tonight I came real close to losing it after they told us we just watched a match for absolutely no reason. So yeah, we're going to... but we will definitely see you tomorrow night for Dynamite. So be here, 8 o'clock. Thank you for everything you guys do. And good night. God bless and good night, America, wherever you are. We'll see you tomorrow.